Now we can start on the toolpath for this part. One of the first things we want to do is go select our machine type. Our machine type is going to be a lathe, and we're going to go with the default lathe. We're going to go into the properties and define some of our tool settings. First thing you should put in here is your program number, whatever 4-digit number you want to use for your program number. We're going to tell it to assign tool numbers sequentially, and I'm going to use my tools, step, peck, and coolant. Now in some cases you might have a custom tool library that has the same tools in it all the time, and maybe you don't want it to assign the tools. Maybe when you pick from your library, the roughing tool is automatically going to be tool number 2, and that's the way you want it. So you wouldn't have to turn that on. But we're going to be pulling from the standard Mastercam tool library, and the first tool that we pick, we want it to be tool number 1. We can go select a different material type if you like. We'll say select. I'll right click and say get from library. We'll grab some steel 1010. You can pick whatever you like. So that's my currently selected material, and I'll tell it to calculate my feeds and speeds from the material. For my stock setup, I want to define the stock for my left spindle. We'll go to our properties, and I'm going to define this from using 2 points. So I'm going to pick a point at the front nose and then pick this point at the far outer diameter. I'm going to make the length 50 thousandths longer and then add 50 thousandths stock to the front of my part for facing. So we'll say that the blank we're going to be using is 5-inch diameter, and we're just going to leave it at 5 inches. So we're not actually going to be turning this outer diameter here. We'll OK that. For our left spindle, we're going to define our chuck jaws. Go to Properties. This time we'll use this style of chuck jaw. I want it to grip onto the stock. That'll get me my diameter. And I want it to grip onto about 600 thousandths. We can preview that, and we can see that that'll give us a good grip on the part and still give us some clearance from this area where we're turning. Press enter to continue, and we'll OK that. Remember, you can use the shaded boundaries, and we'll say OK. So now we're ready to do our first toolpath. We can go to Toolpaths, Face. It's going to ask us for our NC program name, and mine is just going to come up with the same name as I named the part when I saved it. I'll OK that. I'm going to pick this tool. It's a CNMG 432 to rough my part, and I'm going to add a comment. And I'll say face off the front of the part. For our facing parameters, it's going to be using the stock. I'm not really taking rough cuts because there's only 50 thousandths on the front. So we're really just going to take one cut, and we'll OK that. So there's our facing operation.